back, baby.
Offense, you know what to do.
It's football time in Tennessee.
Get me Tennessee.
What's up, everybody? Welcome in. This is the latest episode of the 1796 Sports Podcast. Yes, this is Bryce's voice coming from Ryan's picture. We are in the same room. So the gang's back together. All three of us are here. Let's get into it. We'll talk about the huge win over Auburn. Tennessee beat Auburn 92-84. Knecht, dropped his pants and showed everybody what he's working with again. 39 points from Knecht led us to a massive conference win. Jim, initial thoughts after that Auburn game?
I mean, if you didn't think Dalton Knecht was player of the year, I feel like that was a statement game on who's player of the year. And I'm not talking SEC player of the year because he's already had that. He's got to be in the talks of national player of the year, like not even close. But can we just talk about how he misses free throws and he could have had 2 40-point games? Like, and he knows it. He knew it after he missed that one free throw towards the end of the game. But anyways, I mean, not only Dalton Knecht, obviously we know he played great. Another great game from Zakai Zeigler. I mean, 17 points, clutch free throws at the end of the game, and, 9 assists again. The kid is a magician at the point guard slot. And Edey obviously had a, pretty good game as well. But all around, good team win. I mean, again, we go into half up 4, and, Dalton Knecht, man, second half, it's just Dalton Knecht's game. You get that shirt untucked, it's game over. But yeah, great team win. Now we got to go on the road for another tough game, so we'll see.
Yeah, much to the highly premature meltdown on Vol Twitter halfway through the second half. This team sucks. We're playing like shit. It's over. I never thought those things because Dalton Knecht wears orange and white. It's just so nice to have a player like that. And, we still had another, quiet offensive output from the 2 fifth-year seniors in Vescovy and Josiah Jordan-James. But, I was talking to Bryce about this last night. Like, to me, at this point, it's kind of expected for them to not score as much as they used to, but they still give tons of effort on defense. They do a bunch of little things, intangibles that a non-coach would not notice. I think they're super important to have on the floor. And any talk of them being benched, any talk of them, just not playing well enough to be earning playing time at this point is just nonsense to me.
Well, who are you going to bench them for? That the thing about it is Ryan pointed out something to me that I did not notice. Jim, I'm curious to know if you caught on to this. So Vescovy had 2 points, but what Ryan pointed out to me, did you know that he has only attempted 10 or more field goals one time this season?
Yeah, we've talked about it. It seems like he's scared to shoot the ball. And I don't know if scared's the right word, but yeah, I've noticed that. It's just
he's attempted less than 5 shots a ton of times. Like, he attempted 2 field goals, 3, 4. Like, it's not that it would be different if he was shooting, if he was shooting 15, 16 times a game and just missing most of them. It's not like he lost his scoring touch. It seems like either that's the game plan or it's a confidence thing. But like Ryan said, it feels like we're being a little nitpicky just because, like you said, we have the white mamba. So
yeah, that's exactly what I was about to say. You got a guy like Dalton scoring 39 points in a game against a really good defensive team. And actually, before I forget this point, Broom, I mean, Dalton Knecht made Broom his little bitch yesterday. Did anyone else notice that? I get Broom had a great game, but they finally realized with like 12 minutes left, they're like, you know what? Let's just get Broom switched up to Dalton, and he just 3, layup, 3, dunked on, 3. It was just nonstop. But anyway, back to our point. But yeah, Vescovi, that's what I think is his mindset, is that he doesn't have to shoot as much. They pass the ball a lot more. But I agree. I mean, he's probably the best shooter on the team when it comes to hitting threes, especially wide open threes, because he's wide open half the time, but he ends up passing the ball. And I think it has to do with, having Dalton Knecht on the team and having a bunch of shooters. I mean, even Gainey, Zakai shooting a lot more. And maybe it's just he's not trying to be selfish. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, he had to shoulder the load last year. Like, if he had a bad shooting night, we were SOL for the most part. So, I do want to shout out Edey because he had a very nice game, 14 and 7, made both of his free throws, had a block, and we've been critical of Edey at times this season because, I mean, I don't think it's a Negoval thing to say. Like, he has disappeared against elite, interior players. So to see him go against Broom, who is very good. I mean, we all know Johnny Broom is very, very good. And Edey held his own, man. Like, he still got 7 boards. He got 14 points. He wasn't a non-factor like he was against Hunter Dickinson so that was good to see. And Awaka had a nice little game off the bench too, 9 and 5. So you got to feel really good about those two right now.
Dude, there's something about that big man lineup, man. I love it because you put, Awaka at the 4. I mean, he's trouble for guys at the 4, especially, in college. It's just, he's just bigger, stronger, and it gives him, a little leeway to play, his type of game. When he's playing the 5, I feel like he's restricted on what he can do. But I don't know if you guys agree with me on that. I just think he's a lot better at the 4 slot with Edey at the 5.
I mean, he clearly is. I think that Edey and Awaka lineup is a revelation for this team. Because it's like Bryce said, when Edey has to carry most of the load alone against players like Janai Broom, Hunter Dickinson, Armando Bacot, Zach Edey, even Tolu Smith from Mississippi State earlier in the year, like, he doesn't always rise to the occasion, but when he has a sidekick at certain points in the game to help him in the paint on defense, it works wonders. And, I want to go back to the Vescovi and Josiah Jordan James talk. The thing about Vescovi is that the one time he did shoot over 10 shots this year, he was our leading scorer. And I think and that was against Kansas and Maui. So I think maybe the coaches or Vescovi are both realized that maybe that's not the formula this year when you have a player like Knecht and you have Edey rising to the occasion. You have Zeigler playing like an All-American. And he's certainly still capable of doing it. He had 3 3-pointers in Rupp Arena, and we all know what Josiah Jordan James did. So I think when you have 2 sleeping giants on offense with what you normally get from your other 3 starters, it's a dangerous team.
Oh yeah, we've talked about it multiple times. I mean, this team's so well rounded. It's got the depth, it's got the coaching, it's got the players. I mean, it's just I agree with you. I think it's just Vescovi knows, and Vescovi plays amazing defense. I mean, he does get in foul trouble a lot, like he did, last night. But I mean, the dude is a great defender. I mean, the fact that you have Vescovi, Meshack, Zeigler, and even Dalton. Dalton's been playing really good defense, and our big men are good on defense as long as they stay out of foul trouble. But But yeah, I mean, this team, this is your shot to go win an Addy. This is the best team that Rick will have, especially having Dalton Knecht on this team.
Yeah. Speaking about Vescovi's defense, he became the second player in Tennessee basketball history to hit 200 steals last night. Yet some people want him benched. I mean, I just don't get it. I mean, what coach of a top 5 team, when you're on a 5-game winning streak now, you're number 1 in the SEC, you're fighting for a number 1 seed, you're going to be a 2 at worst, would make a change in their starting lineup? Like, it just makes no sense to me that people melt down over shit when we're winning the games.
I don't think anybody would actually. I mean, I think most rational people realize that's a really stupid idea. Like, they're not making a lineup change at this point.
It's the people seeking attention on Twitter that say all that stuff. I mean, and they don't have any basketball knowledge, because, I mean, anyone with basketball knowledge and even just a common sense, aspect. I mean, Vescovi and Triple J, I mean, they both contribute to the team on the defensive side if they're not playing on the offensive side, and we've seen both of them score when they needed to. So, I mean...
Well, and the thing about it, like, Vescovi's the starter, but Gainey played more minutes than Vescovi did.
Yeah, a lot of that had to do with foul trouble, too. And I think they're trying Gainey at point guard some because, in the latter stages of the first half, I think Rick Barnes is trying to buy some minutes with funky lineups because.
Yeah, I noticed that with Estrella and you know.
I think it had to do with what Auburn brings depth wise, trying not to run down our starters when the game got came down to the wire in the second half, which I think worked. I mean, we survived that stretch. We ended up leading at halftime, but the lineup decision that I had more of a problem with was, why is Meshack only playing 9 minutes and Gainey is playing 21 when he's shooting 1 for 6 from the floor?
I agree.
I really think Meshack's defense overcomes
and his passion. And his passion, dude. Whenever he's on the court, man, he's giving 110%. Not saying Gainey doesn't, but I'm just saying.
Meshack is better. I think we're all comfortable saying Meshack is better all around than Gainey.
I would say Gainey's better on the offensive end, but defensive wise, not even close. Meshack's the guy.
I wonder if that had to do with just the way that Auburn's built, because their best player is the post player. Like, I bet against Alabama, Meshack will get more than 9 minutes.
Meshack better.
Oh yeah. You're gonna have to. They got to cover the 3-point line. That's the only way Alabama's gonna win. And we'll talk about that. But
I remember watching the Alabama game before Bryce's washer exploded a few weeks ago. Meshack looked like Dennis Rodman guarding the perimeter in that game, and ever since that game, we've kind of cut down his minutes a little bit. But I do think, like Bryce said, it's more of a matchup thing, because I think. But the only question I have is that when Zeigler went down last year, Meshack ran the point. He started at point guard after that, and we got to the Sweet 16 with Meshack running the point. So, if we're going to try Gainey at the point and he's not shooting well, I think a bad Gainey shooting night does not merit him playing over Meshack's always stellar defense.
No, I agree. I definitely agree with that. And Meshack has definitely way more experience than Gainey in the tournament. I'm talking, but it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting. I mean, Rick Barnes knows what he's doing. We know he knows what he's doing. So Absolutely. There's a reason for all his little moves he does. So, and we'll never know unless we talk to him. So we'll see.
So the thing is, though, Ryan actually pointed this out to me too yesterday. Like, yes, it's easy to nitpick about Triple J and Vescovi not really contributing on offense, but like, what team has 5 starters that are consistent, like, weapons? I mean, and honestly, the only one that we could come up with, Jim, was Kentucky.
Like, I was about to say that.
Kentucky has 5 guys that are capable of dropping 20. But the thing is,
Wait, are you saying dropping 20 or are you saying consistently?
Well, that's the thing. Coach Cal's like lineup stuff is weird, and they don't play a lick of defense. So, like, other than that, there's not really any 5-man lineup in college basketball that does consistently score all 5 of them. So, I mean, it's easy to say. I mean, look at Purdue. Like, for anybody that wants to say, well, if Knecht has a bad night, the Vols are screwed. Look at Purdue.
No.
If Zach Edey has a bad night, do you think Purdue's going to beat anybody? I mean, Purdue lost to Fairleigh Dickinson last year in the first round because they had an off night. Like, it's college basketball. Yes, you're going to have off nights, but I don't think that the Vols are uniquely like. I see people that aren't Vols fans saying that, like, "Oh, we're a one-man show," and it's
so annoying.
It's just so not true. And I mean,
look at Zakai's stats. I mean, it's not a one-man show. Zakai, it's definitely, if anything, you're calling it a two-man show. I mean, Zakai.
Well, no, remember Jim? The KSR guy said Zakai was irrelevant.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, so is Dillingham. So.
Yeah, I mean, I just think it's a little ridiculous. Like, it's very clearly. I mean, you can call it a 3-man show most of the time, but like I said, I mean, who has a 5-man show night in, night out? Nobody. And there's nights. I mean, look at the game when we were at A&M. You're gonna have we didn't show up at all. So I mean, it is what it is. But if Knecht isn't going to show up one night, we're probably screwed anyway. Like, it doesn't really matter. I mean, everybody has these off nights, and
But Tennessee, I get what you're saying, but Tennessee has multiple people on that roster that if Dalton Knecht only scores 15, Zakai could have 20, Vescovy could have 20, Triple J could do it, Adu could do it, Gainey could do it.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. Knecht scored 16 in the Kentucky game, and we scored 102 points. So 103, sorry.
Yeah, against what they say is their best team ever. So
yeah, the difference for me between, as far as National Player of the Year talk, between Edey and Knecht, if Edey was not on Purdue, they're probably a bubble team. But if Knecht was not on Tennessee, we're probably a 5 or 6 seed. Like, it's because, like, we have the depth. We have a better overall team than Purdue. I don't think that's in question at all. They play in a worse conference. And, I mean, it's just mind-blowing to me that people can think that the circus act of Zach Edey is, 15 free throws a game. It's just so boring to watch compared to an obviously better all-around player than Knecht.
Well, I mean, somebody posted it. Somebody involved Twitter posted it today. The shot charts for Edey and Knecht. Dude, Edey does not. I mean, everybody knows this. He does not shoot from more than 5 feet out. Like, if you dump it down there to him and he lays it in, like
a hook. Yeah, he just does a little hook shot. That's it.
It's exactly why he's not high on draft boards. Like, a lot of draft boards have him going in the second round, and I know that that's not everything, but it's because he doesn't space the floor. He's just a big guy who sits down there and scores because he's bigger than everybody else.
Bro, he's going to get bullied in the NBA.
I mean, no NBA team even has a guy like that anymore. And if they do, he's at the back of the bench because he does nothing.
I mean, look at Taco Fall. The guy is, I mean, he's bigger than Zach Edey, and he doesn't even play.
Yeah. Edey in the NBA will be like Hasheem Thabit. Like, it's.
Yeah, bowl.
Yeah, it's.
And here's my thing about and talk about National Player of the Year. I mean, Ryan, you just said it. Like, who doesn't enjoy watching a kid like Dalton Knecht drive to the basket, dunk on somebody, or shoot a 3 from 6 feet behind the arc and hit it in someone's face, or do a little pull up at the elbow, and he could do everything. And you guys just said it. I mean, it's. And I'm not even saying it as a Tennessee fan. It's just as a basketball fan in general, it should be a clear-cut case of Dalton Knecht being National Player of the Year.
100%. I mean, it should be about the best overall player, and it shouldn't be about who's the best at standing under the basket all game and getting a rebound.
Yeah, and getting 19 foul calls.
Yeah, the way referees treat Zach Edey is like he all he's caught all of them like with an underage girl. Like it's ridiculous. Like he gets like grazed and they're like flagrant too. Like it's ridiculous. And we watched it firsthand in Maui, a game that we should have won. And I think if we happen to run into them in the final,
we beat them. We beat them.
I mean, I know the first game was on a neutral floor, but having played them before, I think we would make that a track meet to neutralize.
Well, not only that game was at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, before Knecht hit his stride. Before.
Well, yeah, they didn't have the chemistry they do now.
Yeah, Zeigler was hobbling around for the most part at that point, and now
he's playing All-American. He should be.
Yeah. Y'all want to go ahead and get into a little.
Well, I want to before I got a couple questions kind of off Voldemort's kind of thing. So okay. I got a question about Dalton Knecht. If Dalton Knecht leads this team to win a national championship, do we retire number 3?
Yeah, because he's going to be an All-American.
If he wins the Natty, he's National Player of the Year.
Yeah. He's going to be an All-American. He's going to be SEC Player of the Year. He's going to have multiple 30-point games, which I think is another requirement for getting your jersey retired at Tennessee. He's going to have so many accolades, and if you add a national championship on top of that, I think he fully deserves it.
I mean, he might be the greatest in Tennessee history at that point if he brings home a Natty.
Yeah, I know a lot of old heads. I always hear him talk about Bernard King. If he had 2 functioning knees during his whole career, he's mentioned with Michael Jordan, with Kobe Bryant, with all those top 10 NBA players of all time. But I didn't see that firsthand. But from what I hear, it's pretty similar to what Knecht is doing right now. And he made the Hall of Fame even with those injury issues. But as far as my lifetime, as far as 21st century, for me, it's Chris Lofton, Grant Williams, Dalton Knecht, and I think Dalton Knecht clears the first 2 by a lot.
Bryce, what do you think? You think the same way?
Pretty much. I think just the fact that him being the first player to lead us to a Final Four, let alone a national championship, I don't think there's any way you can't. I mean, I'm curious to know if that's ever happened.
Well, probably not because the transfer portal is brand new.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you have to, though. I mean, just the monumental task that would be. I mean, nobody predicting us to win a national championship before the season started. Nobody knowing who Dalton Knecht was. And this meteoric rise that he's had where, like Ryan said, if he's going to win SEC Player of the Year, he should win the Naismith. If he doesn't, I mean, I think if he wins those 2 and a national championship, there's no way you can't.
Now, that's another question, though. Is this would that be the biggest, fraudulent case since Peyton Manning not winning the Heisman?
I think it'd be pretty high up there. Yeah, I mean,
it'd be close. I don't know about because the Heisman is obviously the Heisman, but this would be definitely close.
Fox Sports Knoxville was talking about this today, comparing the Heisman to this Player of the Year race with Knecht and Edey, and they made a really good point, saying that if Knecht were to win it, Knecht would be Charles Woodson in this scenario because Peyton Manning was the
hype,
the favorite for most of the year, and then he got overtaken at the end by Charles Woodson, and that's what Knecht would be doing to Zach Edey. So now, it's kind of flip flop in the scenario. I understand. I mean, if you just look at it on a piece of paper, Edey averages more points, more rebounds, and he's on a higher ranked team, which I think is probably going to win out. And I wouldn't.
Now, is it based on the tournament or no?
I think they announced it before the tournament. If I'm not mistaken, I think that's.
I don't know what if they do or not, but I would say based on the season though, God, it's so hard not to say Dalton Knecht. It's just
Yeah.
It sounds wrong.
It's like I said, when you look at a piece of paper, Edey's the player of the year. When you actually turn on the tape, Knecht's the player of the year. It's simple as that. It just depends on what the voters go with.
And it sucks because it's like, yo, Zach Edey won it last year. Who cares? No one in the country other than Purdue fans want Zach Edey to win. No one likes him.
Yeah, I mean,
you got people like Auburn fans. Even Auburn fans are on the Vol basketball Twitter saying how he's a dude. I mean, he's flat out a really great basketball player, and you don't see that about Edey. It's just like, yo, he's just tall and 300 pounds. That's it.
I mean, honestly, I don't want it to turn into like a Zach Edey bashing thing. I mean,
why not?
There's a place for him.
He's just tall. You make me 7'4", I'd do the same shit.
Well, let me finish. What I was gonna say, this might be blasphemous. I think Rob Dillingham's a better. I mean, I would rather him than Zach Edey.
Facts. Rob Dillingham. Hey, listen to me. And no offense, Rob Dillingham, from what I said before. I mean, the guy's going to be in the NBA. He's Tyrese Maxey Jr. The kid's a baller. But Zach Edey's not. He's going to sit the bench, and if you give him the National Player of the Year again, it's a shame because Dalton Knecht would run circles around that man. And
it's like a Cyclops in a fairy tale, and like the opposing team.
Yeah, give it to the Giant. Yeah, give it to the Giant. That's probably the best way to go.
Do y'all remember Adam Morrison?
Yes, yeah, and he's a nobody.
He dominated for Gonzaga, won all these awards, and then did absolutely nothing. That is literally what Edey's going to do, in my opinion.
Edey's not going to play. He's going to go in the G League. He's going to get bullied by people in the G League. Put Edey against Draymond Green. Put him against Draymond Green. Draymond Green will bully that man. He won't score.
I totally agree with everything you're saying, Jim.
You get me going. Let's get away from Zach Edey.
Yeah, the last thing I'll say about Zach Edey is, when you're 12 feet tall, or probably more than that, when you put your arms up in the air, it's not that impressive what you're doing. That'll be the end of the Zach Edey talk, unless somebody else wants to go. But y'all want to go ahead and get into this Alabama matchup on Saturday night?
Let's get it.
Now, and I want to say something about this game coming up. And we talked about it, before the season even started, and we said we'd lose this game. Did we not?
We did.
We did. I'm going to be honest. If Tennessee could Alabama, I hate to tell you, if you shut down their three-point game, they suck. They are the worst. They suck. If they can't hit the three ball, I mean, you've seen it already. We beat them by 20. And that's all you got to do.
Do you know, Jim, off the top of your head, do you happen to know where they rank in total defense?
I don't, because I don't care about them, but
271st. They do not play a lick of defense.
No, and that's the reason why we beat them by 20. I mean, you shut down everything. I mean, look, Mark Sears scored 20 against us. I mean, let alone 12 points were in the second half with 5 minutes left. But I mean, you take away the 3-point game, they are not good. They are not good.
But I think even when they're hitting, even when they are hitting their threes, they're not going to be able to slow us down, just like they couldn't last time. I mean, every game they play, even when they win, the other team is also near 90 points.
Ole Miss.
Yeah.
Ole Miss had 88.
Yeah. If they don't score 100, they're not winning most of the time. I mean,
they're not scoring 100 against Tennessee. They're not.
Nope. That's my point. Yep. I mean, they went to Kentucky, and they let Kentucky score 117 points.
Didn't they score 60 points or something?
And who? Kentucky or Alabama?
Alabama. How much did they score?
They score. I think it was
it was 95 to 117.
But the score was.
Oh well, I mean, Kentucky don't play defense either.
I think it was 103 to 64 with 8 minutes left in the game. So Kentucky could have scored 100.
Yeah, they put their backups in.
Yeah, but it's just like we've been talking about. Alabama shot 37 threes last night at Ole Miss, hit 15 of them. And we held them to, I think it was 21 attempts, and they made 4 in Knoxville when we beat them by 20. So yeah, that's obviously the key to the game. Another key is overcoming the inevitable avalanche in the first 10 minutes of the game with the home crowd behind them. And I think
you got to shut them down.
Yeah.
There will be some bullshit calls too.
Yeah. I think if you get past those first 10 minutes and you're, tied or within 5, really, I think the Vols are going to win the game. I really do. I don't.
And the Vols are hot, man. They're playing great basketball. Edey's playing great. Obviously, DK's playing great. Zakai's playing great. Triple J and Vescovy are great defenders. I mean, they get rebounds. They do what they got to do. I mean, this could be a defensive game. This has to be Rick Barnes going into the locker room saying, "Hey, shut the 3 down. Play defense. The offense is going to come with it because, I mean, Alabama doesn't play defense. We're going to score on them, and you got to get the home crowd out of it. You can't have this game be like a 40-40 game going into halftime."
Yeah. Another huge factor in this one, Alabama doesn't have much of a presence in the paint. If we put that Edey and Awaka lineup in the game against them, I think we will clean house during those minutes. I mean,
they won't be able to get a rebound.
No. I mean,
I can't. Oh, Nelson, I hate him.
And he's come on. He's a lot better player than he was 2 months ago.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. He's been playing good, but he still gets into foul trouble.
Way more aggressive.
He's going to get into foul trouble because he's going to have to defend. Yeah. If he's got to defend Awaka in the paint, he's going to get in foul trouble.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's the defense of Alabama just leads me to think that Tennessee's they're going to win this matchup for the second time. I mean, I just do not see how they give up points to everybody.
I mean, it
doesn't matter.
I agree with you. The only thing is if we come out ice cold and they're just making it rain and we get down by too much early, I don't know if we'll be able to come back. That's the only thing that I worry about.
But that's got to be the point of emphasis on Rick Barnes' side, which I already said. I mean, he knows what he's doing. The guys know what's coming. And this is where Triple J and Vescovy and Zakai and Edey come into play. You've been here before. You've played here before. You know what the crowd's going to be like, and you know what this. I mean, you beat this team by 20. Now, don't take that with a grain of salt, but come in here and they know what to do. So that's definitely at our benefit.
Yeah. Another big factor in our first matchup against Alabama was Jordan Gainey had a good game off the bench. He had 15 points. It'd be nice to see that again. And Knecht went 8 of 20 from the field, which is hilariously a bad game for him, and he still had 25 points. So if he plays like he did last night, and he's been great on the road all throughout this year, I mean, I just think things are looking good for the Vols going into this matchup, home court advantage or not.
Now, I mean, let's say the Vols do win. I mean, is that guaranteed SEC season title holders or?
It was
South Carolina.
Yeah. So we would be a game up on Alabama, obviously, and then you'd only have to win
one of the
last 2 to get a share.
I was gonna say though, what if South Carolina beats us, and then
I don't know, that would definitely be a logjam scenario, and there'd be.
I'm sorry though. The way I've been watching South Carolina play basketball, no, but they had a great year. Kudos to them. I just don't see them beating us again.
I don't either. If you clean the defensive glass against them, you're going to win the game.
And it's another. This is going to be a revenge game, and I guarantee you the boys are going to go in like their heads on fire.
I'm going to call it now. This is kind of far out. I mean, we're a game.
Oh no, I love it. I love it. Say what you want to say.
Josiah Jordan-James is a South Carolina boy, and I think he's going to have 20-plus points in that game.
I love it. Even though he blocked me, I love it, and I hope he drops 30.
But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and give my prediction for the score of this Alabama game, unless y'all have any other points you want to go over.
Oh no, yeah, go ahead.
You good, Bryce?
Go for it.
Okay. This is mainly because of Alabama's horrendous defense, but I'm going to go with the Vols 93-83. And I'm going to go with Knecht having another 25-plus point game on the road. And I'm going to go with Edey also getting to the 20-point mark.
I like that a lot.
Jim, what are you thinking?
Oh, you want me to go? Okay, all right. Yeah, no, I think the Vols take this. I'm not as confident as Ryan is, just because it's on the road and we haven't played specifically well on the road. But I do think the Vols take this game, but I think it's going to be kind of I wouldn't say a nail biter. I think this will be a closer game, throughout the whole entire game. But I think Vols win. I'd say I'm in the 90s as well. I'm going to say 95-87.
All right. I'm going to shock you guys a little bit.
You son of a bitch.
You better you not. Nope.
Hey,
nope.
we're
don't eat. No, we're not. No, we're not.
Listen,
hey, Ryan, edit this out.
Here's where I'm going. I do think we drop this game, boys. I think Alabama has a little bit too much firepower, that revenge factor, playing for seeding. I think 88-81, something like that. I do. I think we drop it, but I think we close out the regular season with 2 more wins.
Bryce, you think this number 271 on the defensive end is going to hold us to 81 points?
I just think if it's a game where the crowd's raucous, they get off to a fast start, we're not hitting shots. Knecht just dropped 39. He might be tired. He might not. He's probably not going to do that again. I just think.
Oh, hey, clip this shit. Clip it. Send it to Dalton.
I would love to be wrong. I want to win, obviously, but we're probably going to drop one of these 4. This is the one I think that we have the best shot. Honestly, I think we might drop this one, but like you said, Ryan, I think we beat South Carolina. I think we beat Kentucky. I just think this is just a tough matchup for. I mean, it wasn't the first time, but in Alabama, we predicted to lose at the beginning of the season. Their offense is even better than we thought it was going to be. Yeah, I just think I think that revenge factor is a huge thing.
Yeah, well, just know I'm doing the same thing I did for the Auburn game. The picture I sent you guys.
Yes, I probably will too. Nate Oates will probably have one of his players do a drive-by on our bus or something.
Well, no, they'll probably just have a bomb on the bus, and it'll have Nate Oates' signature, and the SEC won't do anything about it.
Yeah, the SEC will claim that Nate Oates was scared of us or something.
Oh yeah, that's an Alabama thing. I mean, the guy was scared. He was scared.
Sorority girls are terrifying. I mean,
yeah. I mean, just send in the blonde girls. They'll, But no. I mean, I respect the answer, but we're gonna edit that out, and yeah. Wait, Bryce, what do you think the score is gonna be? 95-86. Vols, baby, go Vols. Yeah. We're gonna put that for years.
Somehow Bryce's answer didn't get put in this episode.
Oh no.
I mean, and we didn't even. What are your predictions for the baseball team this weekend against Bowling Green? 3-0. Yep, sweet.
It should be.
It should be, yeah.
It's college baseball. You never know.
Hey, AJ Causey's pitching tomorrow for AJ Russell since he's hurt.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not too worried about it. I mean, I do think, like I said, it's college baseball. Anything can happen. Shout out Stony Brook and Austin Peay. Massive upsets. But we're just so much better at every level than Bowling Green. I don't think Bowling Green has – I mean, Bowling Green got worked by Middle Tennessee State. Not really too anxious about this series.
Yeah, the thing about ever since they started 2 weeks ago, I think Tennessee was highly, highly underrated going into this year, and that's crazy, being ranked as a top, 10 team. But just look at the lineup. I mean, I don't know what people were thinking was going to happen.
The pitching scares me. The pitching scares me.
Yes, 100%. The pitching is the biggest concern.
AJ needs to get healed up. Yeah, go ahead, Bryce. But yeah, it's the pitching that I think put us down a little bit.
If anything, that's what's going to end up hurting us. But I don't think people, including us, probably gave the lineup as many flowers as they deserve. Like Kavera's Tears is very fucking good.
Yeah, I wrote about it before the year. You knew that Christian Moore was going to be good. You knew that Billy Amick was going to be good. You knew that Blake Burke might turn it around after his shaky play in SEC in the conference games last year. But you didn't know about Robin Villeneuve. You didn't know that Tears would be this good. You didn't know about Dylan Barger. You didn't know about Dean Curley.
Mm-hmm.
Reese Chapman, bro. Reese Chapman hasn't even hit stride yet.
Yeah, I mean,
two of our best players are people that we
and Dean Curley.
And Cannon Peebles is not hitting that well yet.
He did. He was hitting good. What was it? Tuesday? Was it?
Yeah.
He hit good that game, so hopefully he's catching stride.
Yeah, and if this was an MLB team, we would be trading 2 or 3 bats for starting pitching. That's how deep the lineup is. But I'm not too concerned about it because we kind of had the inverse issue last year where the hitting was lacking, but the pitching was lights out. So we made it to the College World Series last year with one phase of the game being, not as good as the other. So I'm not too concerned. I mean, and we're saying all this, 9 games in. So
listen, Tony, I know Mr. Vitello, I know you're an avid listener of the show. I am offering my services. If you need somebody to come in, I will be the Sunday pitcher.
Yeah, that's
hey, listen. If you need a voice in the dugout to pump up the guys, I'm your guy.
Yeah,
I'll wear whatever you want me to wear. You want me to wear, a pink dress, whatever, I'll do it. I'm going to get the crowd hype. You don't need no smoky mascot. You got Norma Vol fan.
You'll be the fur coat. The fur coat holder.
Listen, I'll go on one knee and present it to the guy who hits the home run. Walking before he goes into the dugout, I'll go onto the field and just be like, here you go. I'll do it free of charge too.
Danny White, hit our inbox. We're for sale.
Yeah, I know Danny listens all the time.
Speaking, okay, I really want to get into this. I mean, it doesn't have a lot to do with Danny White. I mean, I think some people would say it does, but I've seen so much bitching and moaning about, Thompson Bowling Arena versus Food City Center this week. People, tearing their clothes off and lighting themselves on fire over a name change of an ugly ass building. I could care less. I cannot imagine caring this much about what the building is named. Jim, do you have any thoughts on that?
I don't care. As long as I could go sit in the building, I'm good.
Well, it's just now, if they ever try to change Neyland, we will have a Shiano.
Oh, yeah, I'll go burn the place down before they change the name.
We would make Shiano Sunday look like a picnic. But when you're talking about basketball, and like I said, the arena is not anything to write home about. I mean, it's big, it gets loud, it's a good home court advantage. But the outside of the building looks like a Amazon distribution center. It's ugly. And if you can slap a Food City logo on there and make a couple $1 million, do it. I could care less.
That's what we love about it, The nostalgia, bro. It's looking like a cardboard box. I love it.
It's kind of the downside, though, I think, of having an administration that listens to us, is we feel the need to bitch about every little thing.
Yeah.
It's not that bad. I mean, who gives a flying shit? I mean, they could name it the Pretty Pink Princess Arena, and I wouldn't give 2 shits.
As long as we're winning games in the building, who cares? If Danny White, I mean, he's a businessman. If you can make $1 million just by slapping a logo on there, by the way, a company that's loved throughout East Tennessee, I mean, I just I don't get it. Like people think tradition is the end all be all, and I just if you stay stuck in tradition, you're gonna get to how bad the football team was through the last decade and a half. So
the future is now, old man.
Exactly. So, in other news, Lady Vols currently leading Texas A&M by 13 points in the fourth quarter on senior night. They definitely need this win because they're going to get their shit rocked on Saturday at South Carolina. So,
hypothetically, just for argument's sake, say they beat South Carolina.
Gone.
Say they get. Okay.
Give me Molly Miller.
Fair enough.
Hey.
Code Orange, shout out to you. We're getting Molly.
Yeah. Code Orange is the president of the Molly Miller fan club.
You know what? We need to do. He already got one stupid tattoo. We need to do another bet. If Molly Miller becomes the coach, Code Orange has to get a tattoo.
A portrait. He'll do it. You know he'll do it.
I know he'll do it. That's why it's funny. Okay.
I'll make a post. That's gonna be my morning post.
Yes.
That's gonna be my morning post. And I'm not even gonna ask him. I'm gonna be like, hey, I'm gonna say Code Orange said that if we get Molly Miller hired, or this gets 1,000 likes, he'll get a portrait of Molly Miller on him.
Yeah, just a portrait right on the other kneecap.
Right across.
God, I love Code.
Yeah, Code's amazing.
Anything else y'all want to get to?
Just the fact it's not nothing to get to. I'm just gonna say it. Dalton Knecht, National Player of the Year. Nico Iamaleava, Heisman. The Golden Spikes Award to Kavaris Tears or Billy Amick. Tennessee runs the world. Go Vols.
Go Vols.
Go Vols.